Hey,
Good morning.
Good morning, Bart. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I see Dan there.
Yep. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. I think we're going to have a little trouble with my video, whether it matters to you or not, just because of the light behind me. Is that okay?
It says your network bandwidth is low.
Well, you know, I don't look any better when I'm without a tie.
It's a good look.
It's a brave new world, Art.
I'm glad one of us is feeling brave, Dan. I'm dying to get over to Barbaria and let them take care of me here.
Admit all.
How are you two doing?
Okay, hanging in.
Okay. You know, you've done a great job in terms of these calls, in terms of getting information out, in terms of coordinating people. I'm just really, really proud of you guys.
Thank you, Bart. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much. You'll have to say that again.
Hi, Dante. Good morning.
You can use it as the ending comment if you like, because it's sincerely meant, it really is. And our friends over at Gilead, you know, are doing well. I'm hoping that remdesivir gets through real fast, because it sounds like they have a cure.
Like I said, I keep hoping that I believe that the science will be there soon enough. And if we can figure out the math and to do our part to sustain ourselves in that process, I think that we will all be just fine.
Hoping.
I have a number of folks joining us. We've made it as kind of an open session, so I'm not sure who will be and who won't be, but it looks like we have several folks. So I'll just going to let people in as they come. And I see, just scrolling through, bear with me, sorry. I see Dante obviously has joined us. Hi, Dante.
Hello, good morning.
There's a few numbers that are pulling in that are unidentified. I don't necessarily know. And so any of those folks, the 678 has a telephone number. If you want to kind of just at least share with us. We've got on the call right now, we've got the leadership program. We have the City of Foster City. We have Samsita. We have the Chamber. We have Samaritan House. We have Hill Barn Theater. If I miss.
This is Prabha from Odyssey Preschool.
Hi, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for hosting this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
I want to start with anyone who has any updates. Roseanne, looks like Roseanne has joined us as well. Dante and Roseanne have been, I believe Dante is on a daily call with the county manager's office, and Roseanne is engaged, as well. If there are any critical updates, I'd like to be able to at least share those here. And if not, it's really the time for everyone that is joining the call to give us a sense of where they are, what they need, how we can help.
So, do you want me to start, or do you want Dante? Dante, do you want from the city perspective?
Yeah, go ahead, Roseanne.
Okay, so a couple of updates this week. First of all, there's over 700 responses right now to the business impact survey. We are going to slice and dice it so we know kind of the different needs in various communities. And we are in the process. On Wednesday, the San Mateo County Board of Supervisors launched the San Mateo County Strong Fund with $3 million of seed funding. Samsita is focused right now on raising money for it because we recognize that the need will be great, and everyone is asking when the application process will be up. First issue is that the county is going to focus on individuals and families and nonprofits through their community-based organizations and existing core services, so get money into their hands. We are working with them on developing the small business application process. No other fund that we've been able to find yet has an application process, and this has to be done right with proper controls in place. So we're working with the district attorney's office, their fraud department, ensure that it's very clear. So more to come on that. There's also, people have been asking about aggregate of restaurants and businesses that are in communities. Yesterday on various calls, there's a company that has been working for the last 12 to 18 months with the County of San Mateo on fire prevention zone-based geosyncing. And they have quickly pivoted. We sent data that was compiled through the chambers and through an individual in the city of San Mateo that had seen it done countywide elsewhere. And they are actually, it's Zone Haven is the name, the entity, and we can get out the exact email. I have it, Zone Haven, and you're gonna see it. So it's the easiest way to do it. There's a lot of moving pieces right now. We're asking, just been fantastic and chamber of pushing information out, because as we build our resources, we put everything there and then ask all of the chambers throughout the county, as well as the city economic and key development professionals, to push out and amplify it. Strong fund and the business impact survey. Yeah, business impact survey that Samcita is doing. I know that the chamber, City Chamber was out of the gate early on a business survey. So it's not meant to supplant any of that in any way, shape, or form. It's meant actually to inform what we do with the money raised and how do we quickly help small businesses. We are also trying to actually let into business assistance programs, the mortgage relief, the credit card relief, the federal stimulus package that should, you've heard it talked about and discussed ad nauseum, but what exactly does it mean and how quickly can it go? Plus local credit unions, local banks, the mortgage information, the rental eviction, working for the county. They passed no eviction county-wide moratorium on Wednesday. The attorneys are working on a simplified fax, FAQ version of that. So once we have that, again, we will send out, just trying to give everybody as much information as we're able to gather. So I'm gonna stop.
Can I add something to that relative to all of the funds that are being proposed?
I'm having trouble hearing a little bit. People are cutting in and out.
If you're not talking, can you put your phones on mute if you've not done so already? It looks like we've got about 15 folks that have joined. Thank you.
Okay, can I add something about the funding streams? Can you hear me, Joanne?
Yes.
Okay, so a couple of things to know, because we've been in touch with that. Samaritan House has been designated by Silicon Valley Community Foundation to channel the funds to individuals, that whole stream, whatever they get for San Mateo County. We share that with Second Harvest Food Bank. Now, let me tell you something about any funds that are sent to and sent through Silicon Valley Community Foundation. It is really important to designate them for this county if you wanted to get into our local area, because that segregates it from the stuff that's undesignated that they're then going to distribute Bay Area wide. So if your concern is for local individuals, businesses, etc., you really need to designate for this county, which is where I know we all operate. Okay. Second, we've been talking with the county as well, with San Mateo Strong. Looks like we will be at Samaritan House doing the distribution for individual family, household family assistance that is for individuals as opposed to businesses. As we already do, we distribute that through San Mateo County for all of the core agencies. So that certainly covers Foster City and anywhere else county. But to know that we're in discussion with them about our possibly handling that for these smaller businesses that are individual gig type businesses, etc. That has a lot of stuff to be worked out. So as we get information, I will tell you, but we would possibly be, again, the distributor of that, as well as what we do for individuals. And that's coming from all the funds that are coming through, but also San Mateo Strong. So I thought you'd want to know that they are, in fact, attempting to do something intelligent with regard to helping those smaller self-employed folks, gig workers, as well as, you know, the businesses that have storefronts and more formal operations.
Both of those updates are appreciated. Thanks, Roseanne. Thanks, Bart. Dante, did you want to add something to that? You're on mute, Dante.
Okay, so I was going to call also the county, other than what Joanne or Ryan indicated, only a couple of things related to us. There's still some cases of people getting infected. So there are concerns about
You're unintelligible.
flattening out as quickly as some had hoped. So continuing to monitor that, get updates on that every time that we have our telephone call. The county also closed the beaches. There was a concern actually for people who had nothing to do. They were going to the beach, but there was a problem because practice social distancing and gathering. So there's been an order to close the beaches so that people don't do that, and we can help and try to stop the spread. We talked about the eviction moratorium already, and that's going to cover the entire county for residential. The city of San Mateo has actually included a moratorium on commercial. And so our city attorney has prepared a confidential memo and we're going to be going into closed session to talk with our city council about whether or not they want to do that. There are some risks with that. It's not a clear indication that, you know, this would hold. If we did a moratorium on any leases, commercial leases, but it's something we're going to be discussing in our meeting, in our closed session meeting. Other than that, we followed up on a couple of questions that we got from some of our businesses related to hotels. I know that Nathan and I believe someone else talked about hotels and those as available for people who needed places that were infected or just needed to be quarantined. Mike Callaghan got back to us and said that there is no need yet. I think they're going to be responding directly to Nathan and I can't remember the other gentleman, but they're going to be running direct. There was also a question that came their way of using the OSH site for a mobile hospital. And Beck said that they're not interested in doing that at this time. And so may reconsider, but they're not interested in doing that at this time. I think that is pretty much the things that have changed. Oh, there was a question about is there a COVID-19 specific safe handling of food guidelines available? And they directed us to the CDC website, and they will be looking, the county will be looking to develop their own, including FAQs. And so once that's developed, they're going to be distributing that. I think those are major issues. If there are any other questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Dante, really quick, if you can, your connection is really bad, so you've been kind of popping in and out. If you could log out and re-log in, just to give yourself a reboot with a new IP, that'd be great.
Okay, let me do that.
Okay, thank you. I don't want anyone to miss what you're saying.
While Dante is doing that, I just want to make sure that, so the questions that Dante just provided an update on are actually, it's important to know that they're key takeaways from each of you who have joined us on this call. Roseanne has been a phenomenal partner with her team on helping us navigate and facilitate introductions. So where our hoteliers were not getting response from the local and or even the contacts, we were able to identify who and how, and the chamber has been playing that role in facilitating and not necessarily escalating, but making sure that our businesses have additional support. So it's not simply, here's the information, go help yourself, but to be in it with you. And so all of those items, whether it was the use of hotel, whether it is the parking lots and areas that are available to be repurposed, whether it is businesses that we have that have the FDA certifications for pre-packed food, we got to jump on asking if there is the opportunity for us, because as we know, our businesses, no matter what size and kind, individual to major, are basically, you know, adapting their services and their operations. It is much easier for all of us to plan to pivot if we know that we're pivoting to something. Otherwise, if we are simply going to be reducing our operations, the startup is going to be much more challenging. And that was the reason that we have been reaching out in anticipation. Did that make sense? Did I lose? Are we here?
No, you're okay. Yeah, you're good.
Oh,
Dante,
okay.
you're back. Yeah.
Yeah, so what we want to make sure is that we have some folks who have not joined us before. I see Noemi and Odyssey Preschool. I'd like to be able to, and I'm sorry, I'm multitasking, talking, thinking, scrolling through chats and whatnot are not my thing quite yet. But I want to make sure that the people who have not had an opportunity to join us before kind of share with us why they're joining us today and what we can do to help.
So this is Ms. Sanjay from Odyssey. Thank you so much for even hosting this. If I may, I think I filled out in a survey from SurveyMonkey, and there were specific questions on that. How, because I'm a small business and I do need help to keep my business going. I employ about 42 people, and I need help with payroll and rent. So that is extremely urgent, so I don't shut it down, because I do cater to a lot of doctors and all the people who are in the healthcare industry. So if this can come sooner than later, it would really help us.
Well, much appreciated. And I know that we're all working on doing our best to support getting stimulus to our small businesses. The website, we know that the chamber website has never been a grand event, but in the last 48 hours, and I'm going to try to share my screen, in the last 48 hours, we have gone ahead and retooled our website. First, though, I'm going to make sure that everyone has, can you see my screen? Can you guys see my screen?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Share screen. Are we there? Okay. So if you've not already, and I apologize, if you've not already, what the chamber has been trying to do is take the various information sources and bring them into a single repository. What we've done is, as you know, we've established the Chamber Cares, and I don't know if everyone else is getting a lot of feedback, but I am. If you've not taken our survey, this will get a lot bolder with some clearer delineation, but the survey that was just referenced is here. All of that information is what Roseanne was commenting. There are 700 responses that have been received for this business impact survey, and the information is being pulled and will be shared back with us to understand what the key priorities of the different areas are.
And only 2 message to go to.
On our site as well then is access to the Samsita site, where they've done a phenomenal job in the last it's real-time information. At this point, there are opportunities here for everyone to understand what the resources are available currently, what information, what the new releases are, etc. We want you to take a little bit of time to scroll through. The reason is we want to make sure that the questions that you are asking of us are actually being addressed and put somewhere. So if you find that there are questions, and again, we know it's a deluge of information, but we are trying to thoughtfully organize it into the asks. Any assistance that you can provide to us to help us better navigate through that process with you is appreciated. Roseanne, if you're still on the call, what would be the best and most immediate resources for Odyssey Preschool to be able to quickly and easily understand today's availability for assistance, if other than what we've been talking about?
So what we've been suggesting, because again, the application process for small businesses like that exactly is not fully up and running, and that's why I don't want to basically, I've been saying to people, you've got to be able to negotiate with your landlord, your lenders, your bank. And so we're trying to push out the very immediate action items that they can do, which I know is frustrating, but I am watching more small businesses go directly to their landlords, go directly to their financial institutions. San Mateo Credit Union, if folks are a member of that, the State Credit Union Association should be coming out with information hopefully today. San Mateo Credit Union has already posted information on their site for members. Provident Credit Union has done the same. I believe Patelco has some information. So we're trying to gather all of that, but for businesses, we know April 1st is around the corner and folks are concerned. So immediate short-term financial aid, because mortgage relief with the big banks, it's a 90-day deferment. It's called mortgage forbearance. It's not this, it's just restructuring the loan. The credit card companies, we're going to push out information on national card companies today. So trying to push out the immediate things that they can do, and then the fund, we're trying to fundraise for it and get the application. So those are the things that I would suggest in the short term, and those are perfect answers. I mean, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, and it is frustrating for folks, and I get it. It's just trying to manage all the different streams, I guess.
I appreciate
So
that.
Joanne, anything you can do with your financial institutions in Foster City to actually help work with businesses would really be appreciated.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was just going to ask. So Dante, one of the questions that we want to make sure that we're doing is, understanding what it is that is Dante still on the call? I know I'm not seeing him.
Yeah, he's there.
He's here. Is, where and how do we make available a list of the, if you will, landlords and contacts and directories, so that it is easier for our businesses to navigate who That might be something that the city, considers to make available so that, there is kind of a directory and a contact and a liaison, from kind of the city. If not, then that'll be something that based on a need to know, in the case of if Odyssey, in this case, is coming to the chamber, we can do our best with you to work offline so that we can identify how we can support you, because we've been doing it in case-by-case incidents, and I'm sure some of the folks on the call can attest to that. So as long as we know what you need, we're here to help.
Sure, information is always good. So this list it's going to be used by others who are not tenants.
I have no idea who the list is going to be used from. It was just a generic question, and you and I can talk about it offline. But
sure,
I
we
believe
can talk about
what should happen, and what we're hearing is that ultimately, as these questions start to increase in their frequency, it would be great if we all understood who kind of the go-to individual is for, Parkside Towers, for this, for that, for whatnot, if there's any way in which to do that. And if not, we'll start building that list case by case as the requests come to us and we engage with the ecosystem that are around, in this case, Odyssey Preschool or Hill Barn or whatnot.
Sure.
Anybody else?
Really quick, Ms. Sanjay from Odyssey School, if you wouldn't mind just muting your phone. We're getting a little feedback from the phone call. Thank you so much.
Who else do sorry.
Lena also asked in chat if you can, you and Dante talk offline, if you can talk about possibly advocacy for individuals who may have a more difficult time with landlords. If there's a way for us to action an advocacy program where our members can call upon us to help talk with landlords about that. So just throwing that on the
okay.
when we're there. And then, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we could definitely probably gather some resources together. One of the things that we wanted people on the call to understand, and our businesses to understand, is that we're a lot stronger as a county. We've been getting a lot of calls or questions, not from businesses, but from residents saying, well, Foster City should do their own. We really need to take charge of this and be in the forefront of this entire effort. I understand those comments, and I want the business community to know that these things are important to us. We're trying to resolve them, but I think there's an opportunity to leverage efforts that are already going on and makes us much stronger. How can we add to and be a part of the solution? So we can definitely put together some resources to help people. All of these comments, though, are good. This is exactly what we need to present to our city council, and then talk about how we're going to resolve the issues. So any comments, please feel free to send them directly to me.
Yeah, and I'll go back into, so the charter of your Chamber of Commerce, whether you are a member or a non-member, and that is what needs to be shared from anyone on this call and the message that we have been communicating. We are here for our business community, and that includes our nonprofit, that includes our individuals up to our majors. What we are trying to do is, in essence, create a triage process while the city maintains its process and goes about the priorities that it has, while we have confidence in Samsita and the county doing what they are doing for the region as a whole. We have a responsibility and a duty to each of you, and that's why we are a little bit more just in time when it comes to the way that we are working. If we understand where we can help, we are getting engaged. What it is that we learn from you on a daily basis is what is causing us to either confirm or request additional information. And that is why we have organized our homepage to say, look, the partners to our community, our hyper-local community in this right now is the county as the lead agency, SAMCETA as our key economic development and resource partner, the city at the hyper-local level for the processes that it will put in place, and more importantly, our businesses, because the Chamber Cares Initiative has 3 focuses. 1, what can we do for you? And then 2 and 3, what can you do for and with each other within Foster City, as well as how can we engage outside of Foster City? So whether that comes to our small businesses that have FDA certification for food packaging, and we go to someone like Bart Charlo and we say, what are the needs? Are there, is there a need for meal prep? And try to connect the dots. I don't know how else better to say it right now, other than we're doing our best to play a game of multi-dimensional tic-tac-toe with all of you, because each of you have assets. So as long as we are talking to each other, whether it be through email, through chat, I'm not sure my direct dial is no longer private. However you can get to the chamber, if you can share with us your concern or the opportunity, because each of you also have things that you can lend to this, then what we can do is do our best to route. In particular to the advocacy question, a chamber is built on nothing other than these 3 principles: to support, to promote, and to advocate. So if we are not doing that for you, I assure you, or if you didn't think that we were doing that for you, I assure that we are. And Odyssey Preschool, we will talk with you offline, and we will be with you every step of the way as best as we can.
Thank you so much.
I think that's a great segue into Bart, if you want to start talking about Samaritan House.
Yeah, well, first I want to talk about food in general. I have to tell you guys, this is an incredible effort that you've put together, and it's really well done. People here love when I pass around the list you put out of the restaurants that are still operating and available in Foster City. That's really, really helpful. Everybody's shut in. Believe me, most folks in this area are not used to cooking that much. So they really want to do business there. But a note of caution, it was something that was said very early in the game here. And that is, it's more than your usual safe serve guidelines for food preparation. People are concerned that extra precautions are made with regard to food handling in this time. So the restaurant should be prepared, to answer that question or to somehow reassure folks. And I think that will generate some of the business, and I'm so glad they're there. Thank you to those who have offered to send packaged prepared food to us at Samaritan House to distribute. We do indeed need that for any food-related offers of that nature, or even questions to the main office, because obviously there's a limit to what I can do here, stuck in the house in Foster City. But we are getting tremendous number of requests for food. That is probably the biggest request getting. We actually are going to have to put on a couple of extra staffers as well as the volunteers to manage all this, but we can do it. We have gone through a complete drive-through operation now on food. So the only way you get from us, and there's quite a bit going out, whether it's hot meals or pantry food, is you're going to drive up in your car, or we'll make an arrangement for you with that pickup or drop off. Or if you're shut in, senior, disabled folks, we'll arrange to have it brought to your house. You just call in and make sure that you've got the arrangement. 2 other things: our medical clinics are still operating. The main focus there, we want to see as few people physically as possible. We do have some telehealth available that we will screen people, but we can't screen for coronavirus. That's something that's only done by healthcare systems. So just to know that, our desire is to divert people from needing to use the emergency rooms, because that will only plug it up. We need that there for the virus. So San Mateo's free clinic, for example, still operating for those who have no insurance. The big thing that people are asking about, of course, and we know it's a wave, it's a tidal wave, is about personal financial assistance for things like paying your bills, paying your rent, all the rest of it. This has become a very complicated situation, as you're all articulating, because we're hearing things about measures being passed, different efforts with regard to holding rent in the bank, all that sort of thing, unemployment insurance. There's a lot of complication there. We will have more financial assistance available for individuals, and as I said, very possibly for small independent businesses. But that's to be sort of the last resort, folks. So make sure people know that they should be looking at unemployment, for example, and there are plenty of guidelines published on how to do that in new ways under new regulations as they exist today for the COVID pandemic. I just want to get that across to everybody. If you want to volunteer, we really need people in food services most of all. A lot of people who want to drop it. Folks are a little skittish about getting in the kitchen, and I want to assure you that we are keeping social distance and we are doing a great job in there. So if you're looking for volunteering, that's a good spot. Call it. Thank you.
Thank you. Quick question, Roseanne, on the Samsita site, and thank you for doing this, you've added a button for volunteer opportunities. It looks like those are predominantly intended for medical or some level of trained personnel. Is that what the intention of that is? Or is there also the opportunity in that single source kind of volunteer opportunities to identify the different organizations? I want to make sure that we're not duplicating efforts and making sure that our information stays in sync. Should we be hosting, if you will, the Samaritan House link directly on our page because the volunteers that are needed for that organization are very specific? Or is there an area in the volunteer opportunities on the Samsita sheet to identify which organization you want to volunteer for?
So Joanne, the county is organizing the volunteers from a countywide perspective. That is this volunteer sheet that you're looking at. And what happens when people fill this out is it goes to the county person who is coordinating the volunteers. As of yesterday, there's over 1,000 volunteers.
Wow.
And they are then matched with the agencies needing the resource. We took this right from the county. This is where they have asked us. They distribute the volunteers and match them as appropriate. We're not doing a separate.
Great, thank you for that clarification. I know we have IHOP on the phone, and as I was driving by this morning, I saw a delivery to the car. And I don't know if Efron, if we can understand the situation that you're working with and help you in any way, or have you had the opportunity to even digest what's taking place with your organization and what you may need from us?
Yeah. Companies that I hope is very good on Canada. So you know that this is the service offered.
I'm having a really hard time understanding you. You're just really breaking up.
Yeah. I know we have a really bad internet. But this way that the chamber could help us is spread the word that offering. Hello?
We're here.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, just it's really.
That, the way that you guys.
So here's what I would suggest, because this is really difficult to hear you. We want to do what we can to promote that you are open and whatever services and hours and whatnot. If you can just send us an email with what it is that you would like. If there are materials, we're happy to shoot it out. If you haven't seen it already, for any of the businesses that are on with us, we are doing our best to do social media boosts We've been focused on the restaurants to be able to make sure that the community knows who is open and to provide as much support for those. But we are also very happy for any of our other service providers to do the same. So feel free, IHOP, to send us whatever it is in email, and we will ensure that we get that out. And I think we have the Barberia on the phone as well. I don't know if there are any alternate services. If I saw the other day, somebody was doing a virtual hair coloring scheme where the husband basically was doing his wife's hair at the direction of the stylist. If you have anything creative, any programming that you're doing, please share it with us, and we will do our best to create, an opportunity to have a social media spotlight and at least help push that information with you, if nothing else.
Yeah, Lena's here. She just sent a message that said she's here. She says that they're looking into possibilities on this end, but of course need to consider product issues.
Understood. The point being, whatever it is that you come up with, whatever creative solutions, even if you just want to talk to us about these kind of creative solutions, we're here to lend whatever expertise. Our board of directors is from every industry, every size and kind. I'm a small business owner. My consulting company is 20 years old. It was something to be really proud of. And suffice it to say, it too is experiencing the most challenges it's ever had in its history. So I get the pain that you're each experiencing, and there is no ivory tower that your nonprofit chamber is working within, and the people that serve on it as volunteers are doing everything they can to leverage the resources and the network that we each have to bring to bear for you in our local community. So help us, and we will do our best. Are there any other questions or any other comments?
This is Dan from Hillburn Theater, and I'm also in the Foster City Chamber. I just want to share with everybody that in the last week or so, we've been experiencing our own challenges as well as all of you with lenders, everybody. And I just encourage everybody to write everything down, try and actualize and talk with as many people as you can. And remember what Joanne said, that the chamber is here to help be an advocate for you. And we're all working our hardest to come up with ideas or help connect you with people. Never be afraid to ask in this time, because this is what community means. We're all here together, and we're all here to get through this together. And one of the things that I've kind of been humbled by and so thankful for and grateful for is this is a time where community will thrive and grow and really show its true face. And from the chamber side and the nonprofit side, I'm floored every single day with the individuals that come forward to help in any way possible. So don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to reach out. It's very challenging, and nobody faults you for that. It's just whatever we can do to help you survive this time and navigate these waters, we will do the best that we can. So that's what I'm just going to let everybody know, is I've been very thankful for the help and just people being open to the conversation, at least. Thank you.
Okay, I want to be mindful of everyone's time. We're planning on doing this call as a standing call every Thursday at 8 a.m. The schedule is on our homepage. We will do this call whether one person shows up or 100. Today we had 17. The first call had 3. So as each of you participate, please feel free to share this with whomever. And the message that we can confirm is Yes, the Chamber of Commerce is a nonprofit. Let's be clear. It is a nonprofit organization. It just happens to focus on the business community, but it has a responsibility to the economic health and vitality of the quality of place of Foster City, which means it doesn't matter who you are. If we can work with you, we will. And it is a membership-driven organization. We have tossed that out the window. I think we tossed it out the window a long time ago. We are available to any and all. And we hope that in working with us, you will help support us as we go forward, as we're doing our best to support you. We do not know the answers to all of the questions. So let me just be clear on that. We do not know the answers to all of the questions, but we are willing to work with you to navigate your questions to get you to at least the information that is available.
Really quick, I'll just throw this out there too, because I know it was been in chat and I don't know if everyone's reading chat, but please feel free to call the chamber or email us. The phone number is in the chat bubble if you want to take a look at that. And then as you saw with Joanne's share screen, we do have our website, fostercitychamber.com, as well as all the other places we've talked today, Samsita. They're all linked on our website. So please feel free to reach out via email or phone, and we'll do the best we can to get back to you with our limited staff resources.
Have a good day, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.